Okay, so just a little video here about threads and maybe a little sneak peek at where all the magic happens. For all my embroidery work and for a lot of my beadwork I use the £6 fire line. Fire line's been my thread I've used the most of, and then sometimes if I want something a bit more firm I'll use the £8 fire line, but yeah, that's what I use to work with mostly, is fire line. It is a bit pricey though, especially since the lockdown it's got worse. So I'm going to experiment with this one, which I haven't tried. It's called Dragon Thread, and apparently it's just as good, and it comes in much neater, smaller spools. Jennifer did review this. Jennifer from Bronze Pony Beaded Jewellery, that's her channel. She's a tutor that I follow. She doesn't have a shop or a bead shop or a product shop or anything like that. She's just a genuine tutor who does these lovely tutorials out of her own time on YouTube, and I guess I'm her student, I would say. Yeah, and she reviewed this and really said it was ever so good. So I'm going to give this one a try because it's a bit cheaper and a bit smaller to store away than the Fireline, but I did get an extra one of Fireline which I just ordered because that's my go-to thread. But I'm going to have a go with these. Apparently it's more flexible than the Fireline, as much as when you do like the fringed earrings. When I do them I use the Fireline for the top brick stitch piece, and then for the tassels I have to use this Ceylon B or whatever it's called, because it's flexible, so you get that, you know, the dangly movement in your tassels, whereas if you use the Fireline it's too stiff and rigid and it doesn't have the flow and the movement in it, so you have to use two different types of thread. Apparently this thread you can do both. You can use for the top brick stitch piece, it's firm enough that holds it, but at the same time it's a bit more flexible. So I'm going to give that a go with some tassel-y earrings, some fringed earrings, and see if it holds true to what they say. So I've yet to try the Dragon Thread, that's new. I bought that from Potomac Bead Company online, the European one, because obviously I'm not in the USA. So it came from Poland. It took a little while and hopefully it'll be worth the wait. The Ceylon B is fantastically strong thread, and like I just said, it is really good for those tassels, but I find if you catch it anywhere it frays up, and if it rubs against crystals it frays really easy, and it's a nightmare to thread. And if I'm actually honest, sorry whoever makes this, but I hate it. Absolutely hate having to work with it. And that's why I dread the tassel earrings sometimes, because having to work with this stuff that frays and just tangles so easily, and it's not easy to untangle if you get a knot, where Fireline you can always get the knot out. Well, I can anyway. So yeah, that's that one. And then there's the Mayuki threads, which I've recently tried. And again, I found they do fray, unfortunately. I'm hoping Jennifer's going to review them and see what she thinks, because maybe it's just me. She's far more of an expert than I am, but so I'd like her opinion. I think she is going to do one. I did ask her. Yeah, I found it did fray similar to this Ceylon stuff. If you catch it on a bead or something like that, instead of just being able to unhook it and put it, it frays and it fuzzes, and yeah, not so easy to thread, and very, very, I don't know, light, flimsy. It's not going to hold a really piece that needs some structure to it. So yeah. And then just quickly there's shoot, hang on.